so without not wasting time, we are going to go straight. You can read the learning outcomes yourself. We are going to go straight to some of the questions that we can see. That we are going to go straight to activity 1. Now, as you can see, activity 1 is about a table. Now, it says that using the following information about European honeybees and Africanized honeybees to see how well you can perform basic. We are going to use the table to see, it's just to practice our knowledge on the basic calculation that we are going to do. Now, the first question is that we have European bees. Then you have, it's a table. The second column talks about European bees, and the third column talks about Africanized bees. Now, the first row talks about the maximum number of eggs laid daily by the queen. The queen is obviously the female bee, because it's the female bee that is going to lay eggs. Then, so here the European bee can lay 2,500 eggs, and the Africanized bee can lay 4,000 eggs. Then the second part of the second row of the table talks about the average days a worker bee needs to complete all developmental stages from egg to adulthood. So that means that when after the bees lay an egg, it will take the European bee 20 days to grow to an adult, and it will take the Africanized bee 19 days to grow to an adult. Then the next row talks about the average length of time a worker bee lives during the spring and summer. That is the longest time, or the maximum number of days a European bee can live in summer is 42 days. And Africanized bee, the longest time it can live in summer is just 24 days. Then the next thing talks about the average length of time a worker bee lives in winter. So when it is winter, and the average time an European bee can live is 135 days. And the longest time an Africanized bee can live is 90 days. Please note that, yes, Nkosi, your question, your hand is up. Nkosi, your hand is up.
Oh, sorry to say, it was a mistake.
Okay, thank you. Now, please, you have to know when they talk about average. Average simply means that it can be higher or it can be lower, but average is the 2 days. An Africanized bee can live 24 days, and the most popular number of days that an average European bee can live in winter is 135 days, and Africanized bee can live in winter is 90 days. So now, our first question here is, how long will it take for a colonized Africanized bee? How long will it take for, how long will it take? Yes, Luyanda, your hand is up.
Mister, I think it's 2 days and a half, maybe 2 days and 12 hours, because per day or daily it contributes towards 4,000x daily. So for 2 days, it's 8,000. Then half day for 12 hours, I think it would be 2,000x. Then 4,000 plus 4,000, and then plus 2,000, 10,000x. So of which it's 2 days and a half.
You are saying that it will take 2.5 days. 2.5 days. Is that what you are saying? That it will take 2.5 days for the Africanized bee to lay 10,000 eggs. Is that what you are saying?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, like, that's what you are
Okay.
saying.
Okay, Mister. So for if you can do the round off because it's hours or it's days, we can say it's 3
No, yeah,
days.
we are talking. We are talking using days because everything here is in days. So when they say how long, the time too can be in days.
So should we count in hours?
No, your time must be in days because here we are talking about days. Yes,
Okay, Mister. Let me calculate.
yeah, Mokuteli, what's your question, or do you have an answer for us?
Yeah, the answer for that question, I think it's a maximum of 3 days. If we put it in, it's maximum of days. Yeah.
Okay, so now to get an accurate answer, we can use what we call ratios. Now you can say, okay, what we can say is that 4,000 days is to how do I put it? You can simply say that. Okay. Yes, Mogoteli, you have it up. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is that there's too much noise. I think others they didn't spot.
Yes. Okay. Let me check, please. If your mic
And
is on, please put it off because you are giving us a feedback. Please, if
yeah,
your mic is
and
on, put it
the
off
answer for that,
unless you want to speak.
each
Yeah. You said, I'm listening. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's look at this. Now we use what do you call it? We will say this. We know that for one day it will take um, it will take. Please close your camera. Your camera is not needed. Please close your camera. 4,000. It will take 4,000 days. Let me just write here. We know that for one day it's going to take 4,000. So for X days, it says that for how many days will it lay 10,000? Then you can easily do the calculation. We use it, we call it ratios. We call it ratios. I want to quickly put on my pad and I'll write it well for you to see. I'll put on my pad and write it correctly for you to see. A minute, please. We see that it will take for. I'm coming. Okay, so this is what we are going to say. For 1 day, it will take 4,000. For 1 day, it will take 4,000 days. It will take 4,000 for it to lay a minute. Okay, so let's do it here. Let's do it here. So for 1 day, it will take it when you do a ratio. 1 day will take 4,000. Will lay 4,000x. 1 day it will lay 4,000x. Then 1 day it will lay 4,000x. Then you just equate for x days that we don't know. For x days that we don't know, is going to lay 10,000x. Or you can do it this way. Or you can do it this way. Or you can do it this way. For 1 day, or for 4,000x, it will take 1 day for it to lay 4,000x like this. 4,000x for 1 day. Then it will equate to 10,000x. 10,000x for x days. 10,000x for x days. Then you simply say, and ratio is division. So 4,000 all over 1. You equate to 10,000 all over x. Then you simply change your subject. So x is going to be equals to 10,000 all over 4,000. 10,000 all over 4,000. So when you divide 10,000 by 4,000, I should believe you are going to have something around calculate. Yes, Noazi. Noazi, your hand is up. Yeah, Noazi, your hand is up. So you were right. It will be 2.5 days. 2.5 days. Yeah, Noazi, your hand is up. Yeah, Moket, your hand is up. Please, if your hand is up, speak. Yeah. We are listening.
Sir,
Yes, we are listening.
so how did we reach that step of 1,000 or 4,000? Yeah, I understand the process requires the steps, and the answer is quite clear. But the step,
Which one? Okay, let me do this. Is it? Yes, I'm coming. When after he finish, you will speak. This is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Which step are you talking about here?
from step 3 to step 4, where you said x equals to 10,000
Yes, I
over
just,
4,000,
you
how
see, I
can we
just
reach
cross multiply. Good, good. I just cross multiply. You see that when something is dividing and it crosses the equal sign, it multiplies. And when something is up and it crosses the equal sign, it divides. So I just cross multiply. Then I have something like this: 4,000x. I have something like this: 4,000x. 1 times 10,000, it will be still 10,000, equals to 10,000. Then I simply took the 4,000 the other side. So I got X equals to 10,000, 10,000 all over 4,000. That was what I did. Is it clear?
Okay, okay. Now I understand what you did, sir.
Okay, good. Yes, Amanda, your hand is up.
So automatically,
Sir, I wanted
Yes,
to ask, since this it's about days, we can't say 2.5 days. Why don't we say 3 days? Just round off this 5.
yes, good. So, Amanda, do you know why
I don't hear you, sir.
it's the test you are writing is a multiple choice test? You understand me?
Yes. Yes,
Good.
sir.
So it is always better to know the actual number of days. So if the question says that approximately how many days, have you seen that? Then you can
Yeah.
say it's 3 days. You understand me? But in an objective test, it can be they may not say approximately. They will simply put 2.5 days there
Oh,
or 2.5
okay.
days. You understand me?
All right.
So it's better
All
to
right.
you see if it's a written test, it's fine. But you see now an objective test, if it's wrong, it's wrong. You see, that's why you must know the actual answer. Then, based on the question, you can see what is the right answer. Please put off your mic
Okay,
if
so
you are
let's
not
say
talking. Uh-huh. Yes, I'm listening.
let's say on the on the multiple choice there is not 2.5. There is only 3 days, which means my
Yes.
answer should be
So
3 days.
definitely they are going to put approximately on the question. If there is no exactly 2.5 days, because Amanda, 2.5 days exist because there is 12 hours, 24 hours in the day. Have you seen that? So it can be 2 days,
Yes.
12 hours. You understand? So 2.5 days can be measured. You understand me?
Oh, all right. See, I
Yeah,
understand now.
2.5 days can be measured. It can be 12, it can be 2 days, 12 hours. So
I
that's why
also
you
hear
must know
some
the
students
exact
they
answer. You said?
okay. So I also see
Okay,
that
good.
some students are lost since we're doing the ratio scale, since we're using the ratio scale in order to calculate this.
Okay, please, the ratio is very, very simple. You are going to need it a
That is
lot.
the thing.
So it's better I show you. You see, whenever you hear ratio, whenever you hear this word ratio is very important in this course you are doing. You are going to need it in so many areas. Have you seen ratio is simply the sign we use for a ratio. The sign we use for a ratio is simply this. Please, all of you can zoom the screen yourself. Please, if your paper is not clear, on your left hand side, you will see a zoom button. Just click on that button. You see a plus there, then hit on the plus. I cannot increase your screen for you. You can increase it yourself.
My hand is up.
Yes, Leander, your hand is up. Yeah.
I'd like to ask, dedicated to you, but quoting on Amanda's statement.
Yeah.
So on number one, we got 2.5 days.
Yeah.
So my question is that, teacher, if the question came out, then they ask you, we see, for how long will it take the colony of Africans honeybees lay 2,000 eggs? So what
Mm-hmm.
would be the answer?
Yes. You see, what Amanda said was not wrong. But what I'm trying to say is
Yes,
that,
it was not wrong. So
once you have an objective test, the answer can be put in any way. You understand me? For instance,
uh,
if in the objective test you have 2 days, 12 hours, then there is 3 days, then you go and choose 3 days. Obviously, 3 days will be wrong because the actual time is what? 2.5 days. You understand me?
So
That's
yeah,
why
that's the point. That's the point I'm trying to state, Mister. Because some of us here don't understand that 2.5. So you better clarify that it's 0.5. You see how to convert it to days. Because if me I can patch on the calculator, then 10,000 divided by 4,000, 2.5. Then what do you see? What must I write? 2.5 hours or 2.5 days, yabo?
okay, you are talking about hours. Okay, I think I get your point. Please, we are working in days, I will say, because
Oh,
all
oh,
the time here is in days. You understand me?
mm,
Everything we see here is in days.
okay.
Everything
Oh
that we
yeah.
see here, it is in days. Good. So now we had 2 2.5 2.5 as the answer. So it means that it is 2.5 days because we are working in days. Have you seen that? So 2.5 days
Yeah, I've seen.
in an objective test, it can be put in different ways. One, it can be written this way as 2.5 days can be written as what do you call it? It can be written as 60 hours. Have you seen that? It can be written as 60 hours. Have you seen that? 2.5 days is the same as 60 hours because 12, we have 24 hours in the day. 24 one day, another 24, 48 days. Then the half day is 12 hours. It can be 60 hours. Sorry. It can be written this way. It can be written 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, 12 hours. Have you seen? Have you seen that? It can be
Yes,
written in so
thank
many
you.
ways.
It's now clear.
You said it's clear.
Yeah, 2 days, 12 hours. Yeah, you have made the
Yeah,
conversion clear. Thank
yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that once you yourself know that it is 2.5 days, when you see the multiple choice questions answers, you yourself can see which one will be the most appropriate one. You understand me? Okay,
you.
good.
Pardon?
Now, I heard some of you say you don't understand the how we did the ratios. Now, ratios is not very difficult. It's very simple. Ratios are not. Let me see what's happening here. Yeah, you cannot say 2 years. Both you cannot say 2 years because we are working in days. So you cannot say 2 years. We are not working in years. The time here is in days. Have you seen that? The time here is in days. Now, let me just write this thing again and explain using what do you call it? So this is what I did. You see, whenever we say ratio is used to compare two things. When you are trying to compare two things, they have told you that for one day, let me put a day here. For one day, have you seen that? The B will lay, sorry, it says that for one day, for one day, for one day, the B will lay 4,000 x, 4,000 x. Then so now for x, and the question says that for we don't know for how many days, will the B lay 10,000 x? Have you seen that? So you simply equate the two. Then you say 1/4,000 1 over 4,000, because it's a ratio. Ratio means division, equals to x over 10,000. X over 10,000. Then you simply make x the subject. So remember that x is this. So x will be 10,000, 10,000 over 4,000, which gave us 2,5. So ratio is simply used to when you are doing two comparisons. You say that 1 day is to 4,000 and x days, which I don't know, is to 10,000. So I can easily equate the two and find x, which will give me 2,5 days. Now the 2,5 days, you can convert it to hours or anything. Because please note that 0,5 is, when I convert it to hours, you know that we have 24 hours in a day. So it will be 0,5 times 0,2 times 24, which will give you. I hope that one is clear. Yes, Nokubunga, can you tell me where exactly you are? Please, on your, please, you see where the pencil and the hand and the arrow is. Just down there, you see a box with a zoom sign. Just click on it. Then you will see plus and minus. You just click it to increase the screen for you. Please put off your screen if you don't want to talk. Now, Nokubunga, can you tell us where you are lost? Nokubunga, can you type for us where you are lost? Okay. So, please, let's go on until he is ready to talk. Now, let's go to the question 2. Question 2 says, this. It said, how long will it take for a colony of European honeybees to lay 10,000 eggs? The same approach. 1 day. For 1 day, it lays. Yes, Amanda, your hand is up. Amanda, your hand is up.
Sir, I thought if yes, I'm talking. Sir, can you hear me?
Okay,
Sir,
so for 1 day, it lays 2,000. Yes,
sir, since
I'm listening.
the first question is same as the second question, the only different is that the maximum number of egg laid daily by the European bees is 2,500.
Yeah,
Which means
2,500
we'll
eggs.
do
Yeah.
yes, which means we'll do the same thing as we did in the first question,
Yes, good.
which
Yes.
which will give us the number of days, which is 4
4 days. Good.
days. Yes.
Yeah, 4 days. Please, is that
Yes, sir.
understood?
Right. I think everyone is getting this, sir.
Okay, good. Now, someone says he doesn't understand the ratios. Please, for instance, if I have 1 over x equals to 4 over 5. Let us say I have 6 over x equals to 4 over 5. Now, anything that is down, when it crosses the equal sign, it multiplies. So now, if this x crosses here, it will become 4x. Now, if this 5 crosses here, it will become 6 times 5. 6 times 5. Are we saying? Then this 4, I'm looking for x. So this 4 is multiplying. So once it crosses the equal sign, it will divide. It will become 6 times 5 over 4. I hope it's clear. Okay. Yeah, Mokoni, your hand is up.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you please, when you write, can you please try to write on the reason or on the table? Because any other region where you write, on my side I cannot see, but I can clearly see when you try to explain and write on the table.
Oh, on the table. Oh, okay. Okay, I get your point.
Recently explained,
Thank you very
yeah.
much.
And
Yeah.
can you please repeat the explanation of the ratios again?
Okay. You see,
Yes.
the ratios. Let's say the ratio is division. Eh? So when I do a ratio, maybe I can have 5 over x. Have you seen? Ratio is division equals to, let's say, 4 over 3. You see, once anything dividing, if it crosses the equal sign, it multiplies. Have you seen that? Then anything multiplying or up, if it crosses the equal sign, it will divide. So now you see that this x is dividing. If it crosses to this side, it becomes 4 times x. Then equals to, now I'm having 5 up here. So if this 3 crosses this equal sign, it will also multiply times 3. Now I'm looking for x. So I need to take out this 4. This 4 is multiplied. So it will become 5 times 3 over 4. Yeah, Amanda, you have a question.
No, sir. I'm trying to give. Was Luyanda asking the question? They have to remember that if you do the ratio thing, you have to know. You have to have an unknown. It will help to answer the question that you have been asked. You
Yeah,
hear me, sir?
come again.
If you are doing with the ratio thing, you have to
Yes,
have the unknown value, which will be represented by x,
x,
so
yeah,
that yes, so that you can find the actual answer that you are looking for.
answer, good,
And
good.
yes, and firstly, you have to understand the question, what you have to answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Make the statement up. Use the table to make the statement up, yes. Yeah. If you make the statement talk, you can answer all the following question by making the statement
Yes,
talk. So they have to understand firstly the statement, yes, and use this ratio thing to represent what the statement says.
okay. So
Yes.
let's start again. Now you see that the question says that now 2,500x a day. Have you seen that? So I will say 2,500 is to 1 a day is to 1. Then the question says that now how many days will it lay 10,000x? Now 10,000x, 10,000x. I don't know the number is to x because it's the unknown. I don't know the number of days. So is I don't know the number of days. So we are going to have 2,000. I'm sorry. We are going to have 2,500. This ratio is division over 1 equals to 10,000 is 2 over x. Then you simply make x the subject. It's very simple. Have you seen that? So this thing represents the statement in the question. 2,500 is to 1 day. 2,500x is laid in 1 day. 10,000 eggs is laid in X days, which we don't know. Have you seen? So 2,000 over 1 will be equal to 10,000 over X. Then you simply find X. Then you can get the number of X. You are comparing two situations.
Shit.
We are comparing two situations. Is that clear? Yes. Okay. So let's go on. Now, the next one says that what is the maximum number of eggs that one European honey bee queen can produce in a year? Yes. What's going to be the answer? Yes. Stindley.
So the
Yeah.
answer will be 912,500 eggs, because we will say 2,500 eggs multiplied by 365 days, which makes a year.
Per year. Can we see that? Because
Yes.
the maximum number of eggs the European bee can lay in a day, 1 day. Have you seen that? Is
Yes.
with this one, she has done it straight, but you can also use ratios. Have you seen that? How do you use ratios? 1 day it lays how many? 2,500 eggs. Have you seen that? 2,500 days. Then in a year we have 365 days. Have you seen? So 365 days, how many eggs can it lay? We don't know, so it's X. So what do? We will say we can even cross multiply from here. We can say cross multiply X 1 times X equals to 2,500. Yes, please, you can solve it in another way without using the X. But obviously you must that Mutlo, you can solve it in another way without using the X. But obviously you must have a procedure. Have you seen that? You must have a procedure, but I think the ratios is more easier, it's more straightforward. Have you seen that? You must have a clear procedure in solving the problem. But I know you can find other ways of solving it without the X. Yeah, Lerato, your hand is up. Lerato, your hand is up. Yes, but you see, you can solve it in other ways without using the X. But I believe yeah, I can see most of you are having a problem with the X. Most of you are having a problem with the X. But definitely, please, the X simply represents what you are looking for. The X means nothing. Have you understand me? This X, you can use A, you can use B, you can even use the word answer. Have you seen that? The X represent is simply we are simply using the X to represent what you are looking for, what you don't know. Have you seen that? You know that a honey it can lay 2,500 eggs. In one day, it can lay 2,000. In one day, it can lay 2,500 eggs. Have you seen that? Then you know that in a year, we have 365 days. So in 365 days, which is 5 days, how many eggs will it lay? Which we don't know. So that is the only thing that I'm represented by egg. The x means nothing. You understand me? So all that you do is that you simply cross multiply. Have you seen that? And to make things easier, I can even write here as answer A. I can use A, I can use anything. So I just cross multiply. That A is equals to 2,500 times x times 365. So please, the x we are using there means nothing. You can, if you understand what you are doing, you can avoid the x. The x is just a symbol. I hope I'm making myself clear. Have you seen? If you don't feel comfortable with the x, you can use whatever you are comfortable with. But this is a clear explanation of what is going on. I hope it's clear. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. Our next question says, this. Our next question says, our next question says this. A minute. Minute. Yes, your hand is up. Okay. Yes, it says that what is the maximum number of eggs that one Africanized bee, queen bee, can produce in a year? So in the same way, we know that for one day, an Africanized bee produces for, yes, your hand is up.
Yeah, I think for number 4, we can say that 365 days multiplied by 4,000 eggs, which.
Yes. You see, that's why, you see, what you are doing it is straightforward because you understand it. But to make everybody see, we must do it this way. That for one day, it lays 4,000 eggs. So for 365 days, we don't know the number of eggs it lays. So once you can write it this way, you just cross multiply. You understand me? Then we can get x equals to 4,000. X equals to 4,000 times 365. 4,000 times 365. Then you get the number of x it lays in it. Okay, so that is that. Now, let's go to the next one. Our next one says, please, are there any questions there? Okay, our next one says this. How much longer does an adult worker European bee live than an Africanized bee worker during the spring and summer? How about during the winter? So obviously, during the summer, the what do you call it? During the summer, the European bee, yes, Keleboni. Okay, during the summer, the European bee, yes. Mukutel, your hand is up. Your hand is up.
Yeah, actually, what question are you asking? Because I'm struggling with network.
Okay, now we are on question 5. It said how much longer does an adult worker European holiday
Okay, I can say it's
live than
18
an
days.
Africanized? Yeah.
Yeah, for
So if you
Europe,
look at the
for
table,
Europe, yeah, for the European bee, I can say it's 18 days. When we say 42 days minus 24 days, which is 42 days for European bees and 24 days for Africanized bees, it's 18 days longer than which, yeah,
so
18
they live
days,
18
which
days
is,
longer. And in summer
yeah,
and in winter,
and in winter it's 45 days.
45
When
days.
we say,
I hope,
yeah,
that one is clear. Yeah, good.
okay, then.
Now let's go to the next one. It says that if an Africanized honeybee migrates 200 miles northwards in an average year, how long will it take the Africanized honeybee to migrate 2,750 miles? How are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? Okay. Now, yes. Yes. Mokuteli, your hand is up. Your hand is up. Oh no. Okay, somebody said before we go to oh, sorry. Let's explain number 5 again. Number 5 says that how much longer does an adult European bee, an adult European honeybee lives than an African honeybee worker during summer? Please, if you look at the table, you are going to notice that the during summer, this is summer. During summer, the European bee lives 42 days. Then the Africanized bee lives 24 days. So how much longer? You simply subtract 24 from 42. Then you are going to have 18 days. So the European bee lives 18 days longer than the African bee. Then the next one is the average length of time the worker bee lives during winter. During winter, the European bee lives 135 days, and the Africanized bee lives 90 days. So when you subtract, you are going to have 45 days. 45 days. So you find out that the European bee lives 45 days longer than the Africanized bee. Now, so that is question 5. Now, I think the next question is question 6. It says how many days does an Africanized bee lives from egg to the end of adulthood in summer? That answer is straightforward from the question. From the average number of days the Africanized bee needs to complete developmental stage from egg to adulthood is for Africanized bee is 19 days, and for European bees is 20 days. So that will answer question, what do you call it? What do you call it? Question 6. How many days does an Africanized honeybee live from the egg to the end of adulthood in summer and in winter? So now let us check. Let us check here. Let us check here. Now, the average number of days a worker bee needs to complete all the developmental stages from egg to adulthood is 20 days for European bees and 19 days for, what do you call it? 19 days for Africanized bee. But here, if you look at the question here, it says that how many days does it take an Africanized bee to live from egg to the end of adulthood in summer and in winter? Now, if you can look at this table, it is only giving us, the table is only giving us the average number of days. Have you seen that? So now we are looking for the actual days. Have you seen that? That what do you call it? An Africanized bee is going to say how many days does an Africanized honeybee live from egg to the end of adulthood in summer and then in winter? Who can help us answer that question? Who can help us answer that question? Yes. Okoteli. Yeah.
Okay, since well we're having, the average days for Africanized days to complete all the stages from egg to adult is 19 days. And the average time for them to live in summer is 14 days. So we're going to say 19 days plus 24 days, which is equals to how much? 43 days. That means they're going to live 43 days. And in winter, it's going to say 19 days plus 90 days, because in winter they live an average length of 90 days. So you're going to add it with the 19 days that they complete the stage of from egg to adult. So 19 plus 90 is equals to 109 days.
No. You see, when they become adult, have you seen that? This 19 days that means that time, the number of days the Africanized bee has to live is 24 days. But from the egg to it becoming an adult is 19 days. So that means that the actual number of days that the Africanized bee will live is 24 days. Does that mean? In summer, then in winter it will be 90 days. Does it make sense to you? Does it make sense to you? Yes. Does any of you have questions on question on question 6? Yes, Amanda.
Sir, I'm lost in number 6.
Number 6. Okay, number 6
Yes.
says that how many days does an Africanized honeybee live from egg to the end of adulthood? Now, the key word here is the end of adulthood. Simply meaning the time that the bee is that. You understand me? No. It says that how many days does an Africanized bee live from the egg to the end of adulthood in summer, then in winter. Then let us look at the table. Let us look at the table. The table here. A minute. Now, if you can look at the table here, it says that the bee needs the average number of days a worker bee needs to complete all developmental stages from egg to adulthood. Now it will need 19 days to complete all the developmental stages from egg to adulthood. But the average number of days that it lives is 24 days. Have you seen that? Then the average number of days it lives in winter is 90 days. Have you seen it? So that means that from egg to adulthood. Yes, start with your hand is up. Okay, so it means that for an Africanized bee, from the it can only live for 24 days from the developmental stage of the egg to an adult, and winter for that summer. Then in winter it can live for only 90 days. Yeah. Your hand is up. Selo, your hand is up.
Yes, we can't hear you, man.
You can't hear me. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? Is it clear now? Yes, Amanda, your hand is up.
So say in other words, for number 6.
Yes.
So for number 6, we had to add the average number of days and then the average length in summer in order to answer the first one that's asked about summer, and then for winter we have to add the average days and also the average length for winter. That's how we had to do it, or I got it all wrong.
You see, you cannot add the days in the sense that from egg to adulthood, the bee was already 19 days. Have you seen that? But the total number of days a bee can live is 24 days. That's Africanized bee in summer. Have you seen that? Look at here very well. The average length of time a worker bee lives during spring and summer is only 24 days. So if you add 19 plus 24, then you have increased the number of days the bee can live now. Can you see that? So actually, the answer is 24 days and 90 days.
All right, that was the actual answer they were asking.
Yes, it will be 24 days for summer or 90 days for winter.
All right, sir, I get it now.
Okay. Now let's go on to the next one. The next one says that the maximum number of worker bees in a well-managed hive is about 80,000. The maximum number of worker bees in a well-managed hive is about 80,000. How many days will it take for European honeybee, queen bee, to lay that many eggs? So please, that's why I say that at times in mathematics you must always get a working formula. If you don't get a working formula, please, people others cannot hear us. So can you put off your mic if you are not speaking, please? You can always speak if you want to speak, because some others cannot hear us, please. Others cannot hear us. Now, as I told you that you must always get a working formula when you are. Please, I hope you can hear us now. When you are working with math, because what I told you, ratios are very powerful because it makes you do a comparison easily to find an answer to a question. Because you see that here, it says that the maximum number of bees in a well-managed hive is about 80,000. Now, how many days can it take an European bee, queen bee, to lay that many eggs? You will know that for one day, the yes, Mokoteli, Mohau.
Yeah, so for one day, the equal to 2,500 eggs for European bee.
Yes.
So you go to the
Uh-huh.
of bees that high, so it's equals to 80,000 divided by 2,500 eggs, which equals to 2 days.
Good. So to make it easier, you say for one day, the European bee leaves 2,500. Have you seen? Then for X days that we don't know, is going to lay 8,000 X. You see? Then what you do cross multiply. You just say 8,000 equals to 1 times 8,000 8,000. Then X times 2,000, we have 2,500 X. 2,500 X. Have you seen that? So you can simply say X is equals to 8,000 over 2,500 X. Then you can find the number of days, which is going to be how much? It's going to be how much?
32.
Gonna be 32 days. 32 days.
32 days.
32
days.
32.
Is it?
It's gonna be
32 days.
32.
It's 80,000. Yeah, 80,000. Yeah, 32 days. Yes, Temba, your hand is up.
I want to say 32.
Okay, 32. Okay, good. So that is the power of ratios. Ratios makes you compare everything easily. Let us look at the last question. It says that if an Africanized honeybee migrates 200 miles northwards in an average year, how long will it take an Africanized honey? So you know that yes, Bridget.
It takes 200 miles a year for an Africanized bee. Then we are going to say 200 is equals to a year. And then we say 2,750 is equals to X.
Good.
Then we do the cross
200 is 2,
multiply.
not a year. It equals to 1 year.
Yes.
You see that? Good.
Yes.
Then
2,750
2,750
is equals to X.
yes. Then you simply
And
cross
then
multiply. You see?
yes. And then I will
So we are
say
going to get
2,750 multiplied by 1. Then it's 2,750. Then we divide it by 200.
Yes.
It's going to
So
be
it's going to
in
be
years.
equals to 2750.
Yes.
Good. Then X will be 2750
Yes.
over 200. So that's why I'm saying that you must try and get a working formula. If you simply get in your head, you may have encounter problem somewhere. So please, you can go and do this one and this one on your own. On your own.
Yes.
Any questions? Any questions? Yes,
Sir,
I'm
can you
listening.
hear me?
Yes.
Yes. May you please repeat question number 8.1? I didn't get it.
Okay. So we are still using ratios. Is that clear? So this time, the time is in years. Have you seen that? It's in years.
Yes, sir.
Then it says that for 200 miles, for
Yes.
200 miles, it takes 1 year. It takes 1 year
Yes.
for the bee to go 200 miles. Have you seen? So how
Yes,
many
sir.
years, which you don't know, is for how many years will the bee go 2750, which you don't know? You see that?
Yes, sir.
2750 miles, which we don't know. So we cross multiply. We will say that 200x equals to 200x equals to 2700,
Yes, sir.
and x will be equals to 2750. Sorry, 2750, sorry, over 200. Remember, this time we are working in years. Have you seen that? So it will give us how much?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying that always develop the system of the ratios, because it will make your work simpler. Yeah, Amanda. Amanda, your hand is
Sir,
up.
sir,
Yes.
I got the answer for 8.2 and also for 8.3.
What's the answer for 8.1, 8.2?
The answer says x is equal to 15.1, which means it's
So
15 years.
approximately 50 years. Yeah.
Yes. And then for 8.3, it says it's 25.57, which means it's 26 years.
Yeah. 25.57. Have you seen?
Yeah.
So
Which
you know that this one is in years. Have you seen that? So
yes. So that's why I
if you want
say
to
x.
convert, yeah, if you
That's
want to
why I
convert
say
this
x.
0.57 into months, it will be
Yes.
0.57 times 12 months, because we have 12 months in a year. Have you seen that? Times 12
Yes.
months, because we might have 12 months in a year. Yeah. So please, you always have to adopt the system of the ratios. Always have to adopt the system of the ratios. Please,
Okay,
any
so
questions
thank you.
again? Yeah. Okay, so please, the next thing we're going to look at is whole numbers. Please, what are whole numbers? When we say whole numbers, what are whole numbers? Yes, Manga. What are whole numbers? Yes, Manga, your hand is up. What are whole numbers?
Sir, can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you
Whole
loud and clear.
numbers are natural. Okay. Whole numbers are natural numbers starting from 0 to 9.
From 0
Sir,
to 9.
to 9. Sir,
Are they the only whole numbers we have?
Sir,
Is it only 0 to 9?
sir,
Yes, I'm listening.
are the numbers that do not have remained?
Remainder. What do you mean by
Yes.
remainder?
Yo. If our they do not have commas.
They are numbers with no decimals. Whole
Yeah.
numbers can be any
yeah.
number. You understand me? It can be any number. They are numbers that with no. Please, you have to know that whole numbers can be negative. It can be negative, or it can be positive. It can be negative. It can be negative or positive. Whole numbers can be negative or positive. But the good thing, the key thing is that whole numbers does not have any decimals. There are no decimals. When we say whole numbers, it does not have any decimals. Yes, Amanda.
So if I say whole numbers are numbers without fraction, am I wrong?
Yes, good. Or numbers without fractions, because fractions can also be decimals. Have you seen that? Fractions can always be converted to decimals. So we can say
Yes,
that
okay.
whole numbers are numbers without fractions.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Any questions again? Okay, good. So please, it can start from negative infinity, yes, so, to positive infinity. That is what we call whole numbers.
Yes, I wanted to say, if I say whole numbers are numbers from 0 to positive infinite and 0 to negative infinite.
Yes, but the key thing is that there are so many numbers from negative to positive, including 0, numbers in commas or decimals. Have you seen that? So
Yeah,
whole numbers are numbers from negative infinity to positive. That doesn't have fractions or decimals.
yeah,
Yes, I mean,
and
you
yes,
must qualify it that it doesn't have fractions or
commas.
decimals. Have you seen? Fractions or
Oh,
decimals.
no, I
Please, any
understand.
questions again? Yeah. Any questions again on whole numbers? Okay, good. Then here, if we can see here a minute. That is whole numbers. This is whole numbers. So if we can go to the next page, we can see we are the next kind of whole numbers we are going to look at are large numbers. Now we have a billion. Please let's start with a 10. A tens is with having 1 0, hundreds having 2 zeros, thousands 3 zeros, 10,000s. Remember, it's still having 3 zeros, but it's a 10 and 1,000. Now 100,000 is still having 0, but it's 100 and 1,000. Then 1 million is having 6 zeros. 10 million still these 6 zeros, but there is a 10 somewhere. The 100 million is having 6 zeros, but there is a 100 somewhere. Have you seen? But the 6 zeros is still there. Then a billion is having 9 zeros. Now 10 billion will still have 9 zeros, but there will be a 10 somewhere. There will be a 10 somewhere. Now 100 billion will still have 9 zeros, but there will be 100 somewhere. So you must take note of that. Can you see that?
Yes.
So please, if you understand this one, it is very easy for you to write any number in ways. If you understand this one, it's very easy for you to write any number in ways. So for instance, it says that read this number here. We have 1 2 6 4 1 2 5 4 4 5 in ways. Have you seen? So because there are, yes, so first of all, we must know that because there are 9 numbers in front here, this one is a billion. Have you seen that? This one is, because now here, so this one is 100 million. This one is a million. Have you seen that? Then this one is 100. This one is 1,000. Then this one is 100, 10, and 1. So we can say that it's 1,264,125,445. Can we see that?
Yes, sir.
Can we see that? 1,264,125,445. Can we see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Who doesn't understand how we got the answer? Who doesn't understand how we got the answer? It's clear. Okay. So please, if you can group them that way, it's easy to find any number. Now let's look at other examples. The first one, so read the following numbers in ways. Who can read the first one for us? Because it is like this. Let us write. Okay, Mohau. Let us write 7, 8.
Okay, sir.
Let us write 7, 8, 9. Yes, Mohau.
So in ways, number 1 is 42,256,978,789.
Good. Because you can see that here we have 9 zeros. Have you seen that? So let me write it very well. This one here will be a billion. Here will be a million. Then here will be some 100,000, and here will be 1,000. Can you see that? Okay, so
Yes.
the second one, who can help us read it?
I can read it, sir.
Yeah, Jabulile. Yeah,
It
Jabulile.
it will be 100. Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly, Jabulile.
Okay. It's 126,486,445,445. Yes.
Right, yeah, good. Please, who doesn't understand how she got the answer? Okay, that one is clear. Okay, now the last one. Who can help us? Yes, Mafokin.
Is
Mafokin, your hand is
95
up.
Yes, it's 95,623,455.
455. Okay, good. Good. So please, all these numbers are whole numbers. Have you seen that? All these numbers
Yes.
you see there are whole numbers. So whole numbers cannot start from 0 to 9. It's
Yes.
from negative infinity to positive infinity. But there are no decimals, there are no fractions. Okay, good. So I should believe all of you know how to add and subtract numbers. That one is easy to do. And you have a calculator, so you can always add and subtract numbers. So let's move on. Um, um, so here is it that a client of X wants to know how much he owes X for work he has done for him up to date. X has done the following: written letters 150, received letters 80, made 10 telephone calls is 240. So when you add everything, you are going to get 150 plus 240 plus 80. Then you can see how much money the person. Okay, good. Please, when you there is something we call board mass. Board mass. Board mass. Board mass. You always do whenever you are adding numbers, you always do what do you call it? You always do the fraction first, then you do we call it board. You first do the brackets first, then you do the order. You do the bracket first, that is B. Then you do the order, that is power. Then you always, after that, you do the division. Then you do the multiplication. Then you do the multiplication. Then you do the addition. Then you do the subtraction. So here is very simple. So when you come, you do the bracket first. 3 minus 5, the one in the bracket, 3 minus 5, you get 4, then minus 2, you get 2. Then here you can do it straight away. You do the addition first, then you do the subtraction. So I should believe that these ones are easy for you to see. So let's do the ones and the activities that may look more difficult. It says that in a survey of 125 people, in a survey, 25 people belong to a control group and 89 belong to an experimental group. How many people participated in the survey? So simply it is 125 plus 89. That one is straightforward. Now the next one says that 240 people agreed to participate in a survey. 130 of the people belong to the control group and 80 belong to the experimental. How many people belong to the control and experimental group? You simply add the two. How many people do not belong to either the control or the experimental group? That means that there were 250 people who participated in the survey. Now 130 belong to the control group, 80 belong to the experimental group. So out of the 250 people, you subtract 80, then you subtract 130. Then you can find the people who did not belong to any of the two groups. Yes, Amanda.
Which means the people who belong to the either let's how many people do not belong to either control group or the experimental group,
Experimental
which
group.
means
Yeah.
40 people belong to the does not belong to either this group.
Either of the two groups, yes, because it will be 250 minus 10.
Yes, which is 40.
Please, any questions there? Yeah. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, now let's go on to the next one. Okay. Now the next one says that you have 27 rand in your pocket. A McDonald burger costs 21 rand. Calculate your change. Obviously, it is 27 minus 21. It will be 6 rand. Now, the next question says this. The total population in South Africa is 45 million. Total population in South Africa is 45 million. 9,450,000 are HIV positive. How many are HIV negative? So please, you have to do 40. A million have got 6 zeros. So it will be 45 and 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minus 9,450,000. Yeah, 9. So here, if you miss the zeros, you are going to make a mistake. 9, 4, 5, 0, 0, 0, 0. If you miss the zeros, you are going to make a mistake. You are going to make a mistake. So please check that. Yes, Mavokin, your hand is up.
So say my question is here. I mean, we are minusing 45 million to 945 to 9,150,000, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Therefore, it is going to give us 35,550,000. Yes, 35,550,000.
Yeah. Yes. So that means that those people are positive. Yeah. Makes sense. Does it make sense? Okay, so we can go on. Now the next one says that your asset is worth 700,000, and your liabilities is your debt. Liability is like debt. Your liabilities amount to 250,300. Calculate the difference between the difference simply means subtraction. Is that clear? So it will be 700,000 minus 250,300. It will be 700,000 minus. It will be 700,000 minus 250,300 minus 250,300 minus 250,300. So I hope that one is clear. Yeah, Lungelo, your hand is up. Lungelo, your hand is up. Please put off your mic. Lungelo, your hand is up. Lungelo, we are listening to you. Lungelo, we are listening to you. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now, yes. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now, our next one says this.
Why you want to listen?
Let's go to the next one. It says this. A nursery sold 43,287 roses, 95,754 the Harleys, and 735 carnations, and 12,935 and 37 daisies in a month. Calculate the number of the rest of the flowers sold if she sold 200,000 flowers in the month. So it will be 200,000. You simply add all this. You simply add all this and subtract from 200,000. You simply add all this from here.
Okay.
Then you subtract from 200,000.
And the total number,
You said
43,287. The total number there for number 6, it will be 43,287.
okay. Is it when
Oh no, sorry, sir. It
so
will
it's
be
going to be like this.
47,287 flowers. The total profit will be 47,287 flowers.
That is the flower that was not sold. Or the rest of the flowers sold.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Sorry, sir.
Is it the rest of the flowers sold?
Sorry, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
The answer you are giving me is asking for the is, you see, he sold 200,000 flowers. You see, he sold 200,000 flowers, but out of that, 42,287 were roses, 95,754 were the Harleys, 735 were carnations, and 12,935 were
47,287. Is it? Sorry, sir.
That were the flowers that were not sold. The rest of the flowers.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's 47,287.
Okay,
Yes.
did you all get the answer?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. That will be the answer. Yeah. Mokoteli, your hand is up. Mokoteli, your hand is up. Okay, now
Can we
next one
move
says
to
that
number 7?
a firm produces 230 units of a good, which costs an average of 11 rand each to produce, and sells them for 13 rand. What is the profit? Please put off your mic. Yes, Bridget, put off your mic if you are not talking.
The profit is 448 rand 50 cent.
How did you calculate that?
I firstly calculated the selling price, which is 230 multiplied by 13 rand 20, which gave me
Yes.
3,038. And
Good.
then I
So selling
calculated the cost.
price, yeah.
It's
We
a
are
selling
listening.
price. And then
Yeah.
I calculated cost price, which is 230 multiplied by 11 rand 25 cents, which is 2,587 rand 50.
Yes. Please, so
And
can
then
we see that? You subtracted from the two from each other.
Yes.
So we have 230
3,038
11,25.
minus 2,587 rand 50, which is cost price.
Cost price, yeah.
And yes, and then it gave me 448 rand 50 cent, which is profit.
448 rand 50 cents. Okay.
Yes.
Good. So this is how much profit is going to make. Please, this is the selling price. 230 times 13,20. And the cost price is 230 times 11,5. So subtract the cost price from the selling price, and you have your two answers. So that is that. So the next thing that we are going to look at is division, multiplication and division. So when you multiply, like 6 times 5 is multiply, a bracket means multiply, you have 30. Then when you 15 division, 15 divided by 3 is 15 over 5, you get 3. And 10 divided by 3, 10 over 3, you have 3,33. So that is division. And that is our division. So these ones too are very easy. You can simply use your calculator to do them. So now we can go to an application of a question. It says that your firm employs 3 secretaries at a monthly salary of 4,560 per secretary. So if each secretary is paid 4,560, what is the monthly cost of employing these secretaries? So you have 3 secretaries, and each one is being paid 4,560. So it's very easy to calculate the monthly cost, which will be 3 times 4,560. What will be our answer? We can see there is going to be 13,680. I hope that one is clear. Okay, let's look at the next one.
Yes,
Yeah, our next one says that your firm has to pay salaries to 3 secretaries. Each of them receives 5,000 per month. Calculate the firm's yearly salary cost. So please, you have to know that there is 12 months in a year. Have you seen that? So in a month, it's going to be 3. In a month, will be 3 times 5. Have you seen? 3 times 5,000, sorry. Which will give us 3 times 5,000, which will give us 15,000. Which will give us 15,000. Then, because we have 12 months in a year, each month you'll be spending 15,000, so it will be 12 times 15,000. Then you can see the cost of your salary, the salary you are going to pay for the year, which is going to give us 180,000. Please, I hope that one is clear.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now the next one says that you borrow 25,000 rand from a friend. You agree to pay him back in 10 days. You also agree to pay an extra 100 rand per day for a late payment. If you pay, so you borrow 25,000 from a friend. You agree to pay him back in 10 days. Then you also agree to pay him an extra 100 rand per day for late payment. If you pay the money back in 13 days, calculate the amount that you owe the friend. So you said you pay him 100 rand for late payment, and you said you pay him back in 10 days. That means that you were late in 3 days. So that means that the extra payment you pay the person is 3 times 100, which will be 300, rand. But already you are owing an original amount of 25,000. It will be 25,000 times 3 plus 300, which will be 25,300. Please, I hope that one too is clear.
Yes,
I hope
sir.
it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
it's clear, sir.
Okay, good. So please, these simple calculations, please, what is 0 divided by 10?
It's 0.
0.
And what is 10 divided by 0?
0, sir. 0.
And 10 divided by 0?
Sir,
0.
Undefined.
What is
Undefined.
Zero.
undefined? Because
Undefined.
you cannot
It's
divide anything
undefined.
by 0. Have you seen
0.
that?
I have a
You
question.
cannot divide something by 0. Yeah, it can be.
Yes.
You cannot share something among 0 people.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I want to
Okay,
ask
so
regarding
yes,
these multiplications. Is there at some point where they are going to require us to show how we got the answers, or we can just simply use our calculators even when they are
yes,
tests? They won't require any.
good, Mogoni. You have got an advantage because this test is an online test and you're doing it at home. So you must use anything that can be to your advantage. So far, you're not going to write so far there is not a written test unless maybe you are asked to come to campus. So if you can use the calculator to your advantage, you use it to get your answers. You understand me? But
I get.
For now, there is no written test unless maybe the virus behaves well and you have to come back to the campus. That I know maybe there may be one written test. So now you can use the calculator. Nobody will. You understand me?
So if it happens, we get to have written test. They are going to require us to show how we got to these answers.
Yes, because this time is going to be written, so you must be able to demonstrate how you got your answer.
Okay,
you get my
thank you.
point? Okay, you're welcome. Now, the next thing says that in an English department there are 13 lecturers and 342 students.
Sorry again,
80,
sir.
Yes.
Are there any shortcuts of getting these answers except the ones we know? Maybe there are some that you know that might get us to these answers much quicker, where we multiply large numbers. Are there any that you know that you might provide to us?
You multiply large numbers, like multiplying large numbers. I don't get the question properly.
Well, what I was saying, sir, are there any ways that you might give us of multiplying these huge numbers?
No, there are other ways, but as we go through the questions, you are going to do some of them. I'm going to show you some of them so you will know them.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. You're welcome. Now, the next one says that in the English department, there are 13 lecturers and 342 students, of whom 8 lecturers and 146 are male students. Now, how many male lecturers are there in the department? So now there are 13 lecturers and 8 are female. So how many of them are male? Yeah, Amanda.
5 lectures are
5
male.
male lecturers. Yes. Glenda, yeah,
Yes.
5 male lecturers. Now, how many female students are there in the department? If there are 342 students and 146 are male, how many?
It's
196.
So what you're gonna do? It's you're gonna take the total number of students. That is 342 students, and then subtract the 146 male students, and the answer will be 196 female students.
196 students. Yes, yes, yes. Please, I hope that one is clear.
Yes, it's clear, sir.
Okay, now let's go to the next one.
Yes.
Our next one says this. It says that each student uses 3 notepads in a term. A term is 3 months. How many notepads do students use in a term? How many
It's
notepads do students use in a term?
126. It's 126.
Each student
1026.
1000 and what? 26. Like this. Is that your answer?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So how did you get your answer?
So what I did say is that I said 300 and
Yes. We have got 342 students. Have you seen that? And each of them are using 3 notebooks in the term. So 342 times 3. Can we see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, the next one says
Yes,
this.
sir.
Yeah. Is that clear? Yeah. The next one says this. How many notepads do students use in a total in total each year? How many notepads do students use in total each year?
It's going to be
It's going to be
4,104.
4,104.
It will be because there are 4 quarters in a year. Have you seen that? And for each quarter they
Yes.
use 1027, 1026. It will be 1026 times 4. Have you seen?
4.
Then you get
Yes.
4,000 something. I hope it's clear. Okay, good. Now
Yes.
the next thing is
Yes,
that,
it's
yeah, if a bus transports 497 people per day for 6 days of the week, calculate the number of people the bus will transport over 52 weeks. If a bus transports 497 people per day for 6 days, so every day it transports 496 for 6 days. Yeah. Now you see that calculate the number of people the bus will transport over 52 weeks. Yes, what will be the answer? Bridget,
so
yes.
what I simply did was that
It's 497 per day, 6 day for 6 days, and then I said 497 times 6 multiply by 6. It's 2,982
Yeah,
per week, and then I
good.
took
Time,
2,982 multiply by 52
yes,
days, and then it will be 155,064 per year.
per year, good. So it means that in a year it will be 497 times 6 times 52. Then you can get now the number of students he transported in a year. Can we see that? Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's
Okay,
clear.
good. Yeah.
yes.
Now, the next thing says this. A doctor prescribes pills for as follows. 4 red pills each day for 5 days. 3 orange pills each day for 4 days. 2 yellow pills each day for 3 days. And 1 green pill each day for 2 days. If each pill costs 0.5 rand, find the total number of the cost of the pills. Now, 4 red pills, so 4 plus 5 plus 3, 4 plus 5, so it will be 4. It's going to be 4 red pills, 4 plus 5. Let's start again. It says that a doctor prescribes pills as follows: 4 red pills each day for 5 days, 3 orange pills each day for 4 days. So for the red pills, is 4. It will be 4 times 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Bridget.
It will be 4 times 5 equal to 20. Then 3 times 4 equal to 12. Then 2 times 3 equal to 6. Then 1 times 2 equal to 2. Then you add all these numbers. You say 20 plus 12 plus 6 plus 2 equal to 40. Then you take that 40 times with 50 cents for each pro.
Yeah,
It's going to cost 20 rand.
20 rand. Can we all see
Yes.
that? Yeah, that is correct.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we get 6. Then 1 times 2, you get 2. Then you get 40. Then you multiply by 0.5, you get 20. Okay, good. Now, our next one says this. Mr. Mofoki decided to have a special display of animal books to aid and save animal week. He ordered a book stand to display the books costing 95 rand. He hired an extra assistant. He ordered the books to display the books costing 95 rand. He hired an extra assistant at 230 rand for the week. If he sold 80 books at 85 rand and 45 books for 125 rand, how much he gave to charity as his expenses have been deducted? How do we? He ordered a book stand to display the books costing 95 rand. So it's the cost. Have you stand? And he hired an extra. The cost involved was 95 rand. The cost or the cost he incurred. The cost he incurred was 95 rand. For the 95 rand was for the stand to display the books. Then he hired an assistant, which he paid 230 rand for a week. 230 rand for the week. Now he sold 80 books. So in total, his cost was how much? What will be the cost?
Say it will be 12,100. And this is how I got to the answer. I first summed up the expenses, those things he had to pay aside, the book stand and the assistant. They amounted to 325, and then I added yeah, and then I added the books that he sold at 85 francs, and I actually multiplied them and then further multiplied those books that he sold at 125. Those ones that he sold for
80 times 85.
yeah, I said 85 multiplied by 80, they amounted to 680. Those ones he sold by 125 multiplied by that 45, they amounted to 5,625. And then I said the sum yeah, the
He
sum
said
of
that
the
he
book.
sold 80 books at 85 rand and 45 books at 125 rand. He didn't say 80 books at 85 rand each. So that means that all the 80 books cost 85 rand. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
And all the 45 books cost 125 rand. Do you get what's happening here?
I fully understand, sir.
So how much money did he get from selling the books?
12,100, or am I wrong?
If you look at the question carefully,
Sir, he got 12,425 totally in the
12,425.
books.
he got how much?
12,425.
But then
Yes. How did you
we
arrive
have
at
to
that answer?
minus
I wanted to find out.
we have to
How did
minus
you arrive at that answer?
325.
That one is for the books only.
Books only. Okay, if he
Yes.
sold 80 books at 85 rand and 45 books at okay, good. So you got it will be 12. That one will give us what? 85 times 85 times 80.
Yes.
Ne?
Yes.
Plus 45 times 25.
Yes.
45
Times
times
125.
25. 125. Will give us how
Yes.
much?
Yes.
5,625.
12,425.
Okay, here will be 5,425.
Yes.
Okay, and here will give us how much? And this side will give us how much? 85 times 60 will give us how much?
Pardon, sir?
Yeah. 85 times 60 will give us how much?
85 times what?
Times 60.
Times 60.
Sorry, 85
It should
times
be 8.
80, sorry.
It's going to
It's
give us
6,800.
6,800.
Okay, good. 6,800.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, good. So it will be 6,800 plus 5,425 minus
Yes.
the cost, which was what? 325.
125.
Good. Then you got 12,000. How much?
100.
Hence, I was saying 12,100. So I was summing up the whole thing, say.
Oh, yeah. Good.
You
Yeah, I
minus
just wanted to
income
explain
minus
how you got
expense.
the answer. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm right, say.
Yeah, I just wanted to explain how you got
Thank you, say.
your answer. Now,
Sir, sorry, sir.
now the next one,
Pardon, sir.
I'm listening.
I'm a bit
Yes, you're asking a
confused
question. I'm
on
listening.
the yes, on question 4, because they didn't indicate that it will be the books were sold at 85 rand each. So on my calculation, 5 rands, because there it
Yes,
wasn't indicated that
that
each
one is
book was
a
sold
bit.
at 85 rand.
It says 80 books. You see, good. The key word here is the arts. Have you seen that? You see that? If it's 80 books at 85, that means that one book costs 85. Have you seen that? Yes. So it's the same as the each. The key word here is the arts here. Have you seen that?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear?
Okay, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Now, the next one says that you have worked for 20 hours at an agreed fee of 700 rand per hour. Calculate the total fee. Calculate the total fee. You have worked at 20
The
hours
total
at
fee,
an
sir.
agreed fee of 700 rand per hour. Yes.
The total fee is
It's going to be how much?
14,000, because we said we're gonna 14,000.
14,000. Yeah, 20 times 7. Yes, it's going to be 14,000. Good. Now, the next one says that suppose you work 8 hours a day and 5 days a week, and 5 days a week, and 50 weeks. Suppose you work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and 50 weeks per year, and earn 40 rand per hour. how much will you earn in a year? How will you do that calculation? Every day you work 8 hours.
I said 40 rand time is 8 hours. And then it gave me 320. Then I said 320
Yes.
multiplied by 5 days. And then it will be 1,600. And then it's per week. Then I took that 1,600, then I multiplied it by 50. And then it gave me 80,000 per year.
Per year.
Sir?
How much you earn correct?
No. No.
Papa,
a day. Can you see that? You are correct. You that a day. Then a week. Times 5. Give us how much?
1,600.
1,600.
Yes, it's per week.
Then it will be 1,600
Time is 50 weeks per year.
50 weeks.
And then it will give us 80,000 per year.
Yes. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Can all of you hear me? So to give us 80,000 per year.
Yes, sir.
Please, I hope it's clear.
Yes, sir. Mine gave me.
I hope it's clear.
Yes.
80,000 per year. So please, all of you should go and do questions 7, 8, and 9. If you are having challenges, send me a message and I will explain it to you. Is that clear? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes. So please, yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
No, no.
Can all of you hear me?
Yes,
No, no, no.
yes.
We can.
Okay. So please, all of you should go and do question 7, 8, and 9. Question 7, 8, and 9. If you're not sure of the answers, you can just send me the answers and I'll check it for you. Now, next week, tomorrow we are going to repeat this class. So next week we are going to start from integers. Is that clear?
Yes.
Next week we will start from integers. So I'm sure by the time you write your first test, we would have covered the whole of is. I would like to bring the session for today to a close. Yes.
So
I have a question.
Yes, sir. My question is, when are we going to write our first assessment?
Your first everything is on. Okay, let me see whether I can load it. Please, everything when you go to what do you call it? If you go to Blackboard and you go to lecturers learning materials, all your information is there. Have you seen? What? All the information is there. But if I can guess correctly, your first assessment, I want to see whether I can find it. It is somewhere on the, I think on the 12th. let me just check and tell you.
Yes, sir, it's on the 12th of April.
Yeah, it's on the 12th or something of April, but you are going to write a trial test first, I would say, so that you can be used to the what do you call it?
Thank you.
What do you call it?
Till we meet next time.
Yes. So I will always your next class. I will always send you the link. But tomorrow's class is a repeat class. So if you have attended this one, there is no need to attend. So our next
Okay.
class will be next week. I hope it's fine. I hope it's fine.
Yes, we are fine.
Okay, good. So please, there is a work plan on when you go to learning material. There's a work plan. So all the dates and the time you write the test is there. They are all there. So
Yes.
you can check them. Is that fine?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, sure.
Thank you, Dada.
Okay.
Sir,
So
can
I'll
you
see
please
you.
repeat what you've just said?
Yes. I'm saying that somebody asked, when are you going to write the test? Everything. I said, when you go to Blackboard, look at the blue where it's written in blue. You are going to see something there written learning materials. Just click on learning materials, and it's going to give you every information that you need for this module, including the date you are going to write the test. All the dates are there. Is that clear? So you have to plan your your dates properly. The test will always open on a Monday, then it will close on a Thursday. It will open on a Monday, I think around 1 p.m. Then it will close on a Thursday around let me just confirm. I'm putting it on the screen. I put it on the screen. So if you can check on your screen, you can check on your screen. You can see it there. So when you go to learning materials, you simply go to there's something we call work program. Everything is there. So you will see that your test 1 is going to open it every test from test 1 to test 10. It will always open on a Monday and it will close on a Thursday. It will open on a Monday at 1 o'clock. It will close on a Thursday at 11 o'clock. So you have 4 days. So if you are staying, for example, if you are staying in Lady Smith, but you're not staying in town, you are staying at the outskirts of Lady Smith, you must make a plan, and the network is not good. You must make a plan and come to the town. Have you seen? Where you have a network and you write your test and you go back home. And before you write a test, there's going to be a trial test. The trial test is for you to ensure that your device is working correctly and your network is also fine for the test before you write the test. So please, when you go to learn materials, you can find a work program there and you can find the dates you are going to write all the tests. So the onus lies on you is to make a plan if you are at an area where the network is not very good. I hope it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I hope
It's
okay,
clear,
good.
sir.
So said
Good.
that
So
the trial test will be on the very
the trial test will be it will not be any it will not fetch you any
when we'll be
marks.
writing the test.
Yes, as at now it's on the 12th. You will do the trial test on the 12th. Then after it's not compulsory. You understand me? It may be 5 questions or 3 questions, just to test whether you are fine, your device is fine, your network is fine. You understand me? And it is not any question that you must get correct because it will not fetch you any mark. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It will not fetch any mark. It's just to how your device and everything is working correctly. You understand me?
Yes.
Okay. I hope it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Okay, so I'll see
you
you next week.
sir,
Yes.
you mean on the 12th of April there is going to be a trial test and the test that is going to count marks?
The actual test, it will open on the 12th and it will close on the 15th. So you have all days to write that test. And I'm saying that the trial test is nothing. It's maybe only 3 questions just to test whether your device is working correctly. It scores 0. It doesn't give anything. Yeah, that's me. It's just to test your device to check whether it's working correctly.
Okay.
All right.
I hope you understand.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. Yes. We know I have a question.
Sir,
Yes.
I haven't asked, like, let's go back to assignment 1.6, activity 1.6, number
Okay, let's see.
1.1.
Activity
1.1.
1.6. A minute. Let me just go there.
Like the question was saying, how many maize lectures are there in the department? So my answer was 5. So I'm going to write 5 main lectures or only 5.
You see, because it's an objective test.
Yes,
Your
sir.
test is all objective. So you just choose the most appropriate answer from the possible answers.
Okay, sir.
You understand me? Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so without any more questions, let us bring our session for today to a close. So our next meeting will be next week. I will send you the link. But there will be another class, but it's for those who couldn't attend this one. I hope it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Sharp, sharp.
Sure.
Sure.
Ah.